AITA because we don't want to meet my late father's affair son? Long-time lurker, first-time poster, and this is a throwaway. My father passed away 2 years ago when I 20F was almost 18, and a week after the funeral our mom sat me and my siblings 29M, 27F down and told us that our uncle told her that our dad had another child 23ish M, let's call him Marco. And he was at the funeral and he promised my dad to never talk about it, but his heart broke when he saw Marco all alone at our dad's funeral without anyone to console him. We were shocked because we really thought our dad wasn't that kind of person that would just have another hidden family somewhere else. Well, our mom said she wouldn't be mad at us if we wanted to meet him and have a relationship with him, but honestly we were all too heartbroken from our dad passing and his betrayal to want to talk to Marco. We never talked about him again until a few days ago. It was that uncle's birthday and we were all there celebrating. I was honestly too busy gossiping why my cousins I didn't notice there was a stranger at a party. After dinner when we were just chilling our uncle put my siblings and I aside and introduced us to Marco. I didn't know how to respond because he really looks like dad and that was a little creepy in a sense. Not even my older brother looks that much like our father. I didn't know how to react and Marco said, "Hey, I'm your brother, nice to meet you all." My eldest brother yelled at both Marco and my uncle and told them this was insane and you don't ambush people like that. He make us leave and stay a little longer than he took us home. We still live with our mom. Every relative that was at the party now have something to say about our behavior and our selfishness. Apparently the worst part is they are texting and calling our mom, not even us, and starting to get to her because they are saying she's at fault because we don't want to claim Marco as our sibling. Our mom said she already forgave our dad for this and we don't need to push Marco away just to protect her feeling, but we really just don't want to have a relationship with him. It's not his fault, but it's not our fault either, and he need to accept that he can't just force his way into our lives. For my part, this just confirmed that I don't want a relationship with him, but I don't know, I also feel bad for him. So AITA? Update. Hey, it's me again. I didn't expect to have an update so soon, but after I posted it, me and my siblings decided to talk about our situation and decided to talk to Marco first to apologize and then to see how to have a more cordial relationship. Yesterday we went to a restaurant, me, my 2 siblings, Marco, and his mom. We first apologized for the way we reacted and my brother apologized for yelling at him because he wasn't really mad at Marco. However, we found out that after our father died, Marco tried texting my oldest brother, but he told him not to bother any of us again, and he also apologized for that. The first half of the reunion was awkward, but some of you suggested to bring some pictures of our dad and us as kids and so on, and we did. We gave him a couple copies of photos of dad when he was young and he appreciated it. Apparently dad was semi-present in his life. He went to visit him, paid child support and was there sometimes, but that dad never let him called him dad in public, and when he was 13 his mom told him the full story of why dad was like that. He said he asked dad to introduce us, but dad blew up at him and told him to never try something like that because he would just denied him because he doesn't have dad's last name. He said dad didn't visit for almost a year after that, and then he came and went every couple of months after that. We were shocked because dad was always so gentle with us, my sister and I cried a little because it was heartbreaking. Sadly his mom, I don't know why, decided to tell us her story, and she said she knew about mom and she thought if she got pregnant he would leave our mom and be with him, but after getting pregnant he didn't want anything to do with her and even told her to abort the child, and then she said she hates our mom. Marco was shocked and asked his mom to shut up, and we were like, nope, let's get out of here, but he begged us to stay. He went outside with his mom and came back 15 minutes later. He said he put her on an Uber home because he didn't want her to ruin our reunion, and we agreed to move forward from that. Also apparently he is 25, not 23. We talked a little bit more and he said he did have some happy memories with dad and he is glad that we agreed to see him because he always felt like he never fit anywhere because our dad hid him and his stepdad ignored him as much as he could. Then he asked if he could come to Christmas, but my sister said that that's not something we could decide it on our own because it was at grandma's house and he should ask her himself, but that we'll be okay with him being there. It was still weird having him there because of how much he looks like our dad. We decided to have a one-on-one chat with him because sometimes we have a us versus everyone mentally and we decide things together instead of everyone on their own. We talk a little and he asks if he could hug me, and I told him I wasn't ready yet, but I wanted to have a polite relationship with him, but I wasn't ready to be close yet and that maybe someday I would. He said he'd respect that and we shaked hands. My siblings and I decided not to talk about what each of us talked to Marco, so I don't know what they say. I feel his mom outburst ruined a little what we were having, but again I can't blame him for something he didn't do. My older brother also talked to our uncle on Saturday and he said he'd cut Marco off if we forgive him and he felt guilty for never telling us anything. We decided to go low contact with him because at the end of the day he didn't care about any of us including Marco, he just wanted to feel less guilty. And about the other relatives calling our mom, I decided to call my grandma and tell her what was happening and she called every single one of them to tell them off. For a little bit of context, these are my grandma's stepkids in theory because having kids outside your marriage is genetics or something. My aunts and uncles from my grandma never made any comments, so we are still in good terms. And that's that. I feel we already resolved this, and if I forgot to included something I'll make an edit. I feel this is going to be my only update. It's better to just keep everything else in the family and see if we can build a relationship with Marco or at least be polite with each other.